Thank you. We will now start the meeting, and good evening to members of the committee, applicants, agents, staff, and members of the public for the Committee of Adjustment for July 17th, 2025. I'll call it to order now. As this meeting is also being held virtually, I will remind you that the meeting is being recorded and streamed live via the County of Brant YouTube account. We have no members of our committee online tonight, but we do have applicants, agents, some owners, and I believe there's no delegations. They may also participate virtually. So any parties that are participating virtually, please ensure that your screen displays your name correctly, your camera is off, and your microphone is on mute until called upon to speak. I will skip over the part for public delegations because I believe we have none tonight. Is that? No, none registered. This meeting is held in accordance with the provision of the Planning Act, which requires the notice of the public information meeting and public notice sign to be posted. The purpose of this meeting is to discuss minor variance and consent applications and provide those in attendance the opportunity to provide feedback. A copy of the meeting agenda with all related materials is available on the County of Brant website. Once the presentations, public hearing, and question period are complete for each item, if the committee deems it appropriate, they will make a decision which is final following the 20-day appeal period. The order of the agenda and each application are as follows: planning staff report and recommendation, applicant agent presentation, questions and discussion, public comments, further questions of clarification, and then the decision. I will now start with attendance. Please indicate committee members by stating present if you are in attendance. Harry Emmett.
Present.
Steve Schmidt.
Present.
John Vamus.
Present.
Bob Wilson.
Hamilton.
Bob Hamilton, sorry.
Present.
That was a real full Bob. Jane Peneg.
Present.
Rebecca Smith.
Present.
Mary Jane Brown, present. We'll now move to item 2, approval of the agenda. Do any members have items to be added to the agenda? And could I have a mover and a seconder? Member Emmett, is there a seconder? Member Vamus, please provide your motion.
It's moved by myself, seconded by Member Vamus, that the agenda for the County of Brant Committee of Adjustment meeting of July 17, 2025 be approved.
Thank you. Members, please indicate if you're in favor of the motion, starting with Member Emmett.
Yes.
Member Schmidt.
Yes.
Member Vamus.
Yes.
Member Hamilton.
Yes.
Member Penag.
Yes.
Member Smith.
Yes.
And Brown, yes. The motion to approve the agenda has carried. We will now proceed with the agenda as published. Item 3, declaration of conflicts pecuniary interest. Are there any members who would like to declare a conflict of interest for any items on the agenda this evening? Member Emmett, which one?
Item 5.4, B11-25-AV.
Thank you. When that application comes up, I will ask that you step aside. We will now move to item 4, adoption of the minutes from the previous meeting of June 19th, 2025. Do any of the committee members have any errors or omissions to note? Since there are none, can I have a mover and seconder? Member Penag. Seconder, Member Hamilton. Could I please have your resolution?
Moved by myself and seconded by Member Hamilton, that the adoption of minutes for the previous meeting of June
19.
19th be approved.
Thank you. I'll now call the vote. Members, please indicate if you are in favor, starting with Member Emmett.
Yes.
Member Schmidt.
Yes.
Member Vamus.
Yes.
Member Hamilton.
Yes.
Member Panay.
Yes.
Member Smith.
Yes.
And Brown, yes. The motion to adopt the minutes from June 19th, 2025 has carried. They are now into record. I will now start with the public hearings and introduce item 5.1 application SV1-25-RF and turn it over to staff for the presentation of the report and the recommendation.
Good evening. This is a sign variance application for 17 Washington Street, also known as Sacred Heart Church, located in the former town of Paris. The subject property is located within the settlement area of Paris, north of Queen Street, south of Main Street, east of Dunfree Street, and west of Washington Street. The subject lands are mostly surrounded by residential uses, with one institutional property zoned and two to the north of the property. Subject lands are an irregular shape and have a frontage of approximately 40 meters along Washington Street and an area of approximately 0.37 hectares. Currently, there's an existing church building on the property. Subject lands are designated community node in the official plan 2023 and are currently zoned site-specific open space with heritage within the County of Brant zoning bylaw 6116. Sacred Heart Church is seeking a minor variance of the County of Brant sign bylaw 121-08 at 17 Washington Street, proposing to permit an existing LED sign to be located near the building at the corner of Washington Street and Main Street. The application will bring this type of sign into compliance, whereas the sign bylaw only stipulates for electronic messaging, which does not include LED signage. It is intended that the new LED sign will replace the previous illuminated sign using the same posts and location. As such, the sign location would be considered legal non-compliant. It is recognized that the area is mainly surrounded by residential uses. As such, the recommendation for approval includes conditions to regulate the sign's operation to mitigate potential nuisance caused by the emitted light. This would include prescribed timing from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and brightness levels during the daytime and night display, accounting for daylight savings time. The recommendation for approval also includes a condition that a building permit be obtained for the sign. A site visit was conducted on June 18th, 2025. Public notice for this application was issued in accordance with the Planning Act, and public notice sign was posted on July 2nd. No public comments have been received during the review of this application or as of the date of this meeting. As a result of the variance review, staff have analyzed the application regarding Section 9.7 variances of Sign Bylaw 121-08 and is of the opinion that the request aligns with the general intent of the Sign Bylaw. Staff is recommending approval of the variance SV1-25-RF, subject to the conditions. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for the presentation, Roxana. Do the committee members have any questions to staff on this application? It appears there's none from the committee. Is the applicant or their agent present and wish to add? Yes?
I'm the agent. I have nothing more to add. I think we've covered it.
And your name is?
Jared Paxton.
Thank you. Committee members have any questions to the agent then? No? I will now move into the public portion of the meeting. Since we have no registered delegations, I assume people in the audience, there are some who wish to speak to this? Yes. Could I have your name and I'll ask that you come to the podium? Your name and your address when you come to the podium, please.
Do we come up one at a time or
Are you together?
Yes.
whole group?
The whole group? Is there just one spokesperson for the group?
Sure. Actually,
Is your microphone on? Please check. We have-
seems to be, yes. My name's Heather Cook. I live at 16 Washington Street. My bedroom window directly kind of faces the sign. Now, that sign was in operation before, prior to the application going through, and now, it was shut off for the last few months, but we were directly affected. We have called and contacted Bylaw, and there was a little bit of communication going on, which was really, it was difficult to deal with the person. I dealt with somebody by the name of Paul, not the gentleman that's here today. I do have the contact information and such. And just trying to get the light turned down during our sleeping hours was difficult. Now, these are my neighbors here as well. My husband, Don Queen, is here. My new neighbor, who's also directly affected by it, it faces her bedroom window. We get flashing, like through the night, 3 a.m., we'll be woken up. It's horrible, actually. Even the turned down version is awful. We also have Gail and Marty here as well that are just across the street, and again, that flashes in their window. And then we have Sue as well, who's just a few doors down. So all of us are in opposition to the sign. We think it's awful. I mean, if it was before when we were asking to have it turned down, that was just all we had asked, for it to be turned down from, say, 9 o'clock. We have grandkids that go to sleep at that time, and it's dark in in the winter at 9 o'clock, and then not come on until at least 7 o'clock in the morning through where it's still nighttime hours, because it's still dark out. It was difficult. What I received was, we'll turn it down, basically. I have a video of the turned down version at 3 a.m. It's not nice. It's like a light show.
I'll only point out, have you read through the conditions of this variance? Because there is a condition that the hours of operation will only be from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Well, I did, but also I don't want to get up at 6 a.m. every morning, and from 6 until 9, it's still dark in the winter, which is when we're directly affected because we don't even have the leaves from our trees. So it just flashes in our window. And I mean, this is what we were trying to work with before, having them not, and the gentleman, I have the text messages from him, he's basically like, we'll turn it down. It was very difficult to work with. So, I mean, at that point, I don't even trust that they're going to do that. I would just rather.
So who is the gentleman you're referring to? Is it someone in
I
the
was
council
told
staff or with the church?
within the church, it was somebody by the name of Paul. There,
Could-
yes. So it was, and I mean, they're not directly affected, we are. So it was weird to me that our concerns weren't a concern where, we're,
And I would
neighbors.
assume that everyone who has attended with you all have the same
Yes.
concerns you've expressed. Then I will ask committee members, do you have any questions to the public member who has raised these concerns?
even if I could speak again, the bylaw officer who I was dealing with, David Kelly, he was great. He had spoke to them, and I know that he kept messaging me back and emailing, calling me back, and it took quite a while just for anything to be done. It was just really, it was difficult.
So then you're requesting that the hours of operation be changed?
Be
What's
changed.
your suggestion to the
And
committee?
our big concern is If we're assured somehow that those hours from 8 o'clock until 7 o'clock, when it's dark still, because I have grandkids that come over, and I mean, we do have the blinds, but you know you're as well, like the light comes through the blinds. It's still going to affect them. They go to bed between 8 and 9 o'clock at night. So being turned off at 9 o'clock at night is not sufficient, and I don't want to be woken up during the winter hours at 6 o'clock in the morning to the light coming in. So 7 o'clock. But again, how do we assure this when it was so difficult to deal with the committee before? So personally, I would just like to not see the sign. There is a lit sign there already. Everybody knows the church is there. I don't understand the purpose of a flashing sign, and it's a flashing sign at 3 a.m. in the morning. Who's seeing it? Or even at 9 o'clock at night.
Well, there is a condition that says that the LED sign will not flash. So is that basically the summary of your concerns, and we can address it?
Well, and it's bright in my window. Like, can I show you this video? I don't know if anybody wants to see it, the turned down version of, and I don't, the way they have it set up, it was flashing, so I don't know if they put a new sign in. It's pictures coming, changing pictures.
Wouldn't be able to project it onto the screens, but if you wanted to walk around and just show
Sure.
the committee members,
If that's okay.
that would, if they're in agreement.
Sorry, my eyesight's not as good as it used to be. We've been there 20 years and we've never had any complaints about it before.
And what time of year was this?
This was February or March.
Is it still that?
It's been turned off because they had to.
So they
This was
have
before.
adjusted, yes.
Well, now it's not on it. So it was
Which is
turned
what-
off
what
when they
we're
put in
stating.
the application, is when it got turned off, I believe.
So it flashes.
Yeah, it's because it's not like it's a blinking flash, it's flashing between different pictures. So it's not, at night you turn down all your, I can't turn down outside. It shouldn't have to. That's not even right. It's constantly on, it just goes in between different pictures. Yeah, it's always on.
So those are all your concerns?
I think so. Anybody else? Lindsay, do you have anything to add? Yeah. So there's a few of us that are really affected with our bedroom windows. So Lindsay's bedroom window, I know because the previous owner, she had just moved, and Lindsay's a new homeowner in the area. So we have our name.
Yeah,
Please.
my name is Lindsay Chamberlain. I live at 40 Main Street.
And do you have some other concerns? to
Just the
raise?
concern is that the sign is affecting my job. I work as a charge nurse in Juravinski Hospital. When I am not able to sleep, I am not able to work, as I am responsible for people's lives. So being kept up until all hours of the night, no matter what type of curtains, et cetera, I have, it's very distracting. It's very impactful on my job. I'm also, the only saving grace that I had was the tree in my front yard. As it provided a little bit of coverage from these lights, it has now been cut down by the city.
You are aware there is the condition that it will only operate between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. And so.
I work shift work as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's very, in the wintertime, it's super distracting. It's very bright, and yeah, it shines right into my house, main floor and upper level bedrooms.
Thank you. Is the applicant's agent, could you please come forward and address some of these concerns that were raised?
You need my name again? No?
We
Good.
have for the
Okay.
record.
First of all, the only thing I can say, I apologize for the difficulties. I wasn't aware that they were that severe. When we installed the sign, we were never given instructions how it operated. We were handed a manual and said, there you go. So we didn't even realize at that point we could turn it off at night. Now we know. We know we can turn it down. We know we can adjust it. So we tried some of those things, but before we got a chance, in my opinion, fairly to get it where we needed it to be, we were told to turn it off and we couldn't have it on at all. We ran it for the first several months. No one said anything. We heard no complaints. We heard no comments. So we thought we were doing okay. When the first complaint came in, the initial reaction was, we have to fix it. And before we could figure it, we called the company that put it in for help. And they were, how can I phrase it, less than enthusiastic. They basically said, we put it in, we gave you the manual, read the manual and figure it out. That really wasn't a lot of help to us. And by the time we got it figured out, we had been ordered by bylaw to shut it off and not put it on. I did,
Is it running?
no, we have not run the sign since we were asked by bylaw to shut it down.
Okay.
We were never given a written order, by the way. It was just a verbal. And we complied with that right away. So the one thing I will say is it is an LED sign, and I have a light meter, a lux meter that we checked it with. It's very bright at source. That's what an LED is, but it doesn't cast a light for a great distance. As you get 20, 30 feet away from it, it's virtually gone. And the sign actually is focused into the middle of the intersection. It's not aimed at either of the houses that were mentioned. So if it's a light from, from the side of it, as I said, we're more than willing to tone it down and reduce the brightness of it. That's not a problem. Turning it off overnight is not an issue. We started, but again, when you don't get feedback from someone to say, can you turn it down some more, as opposed to shut it off, it kind of limits what you can do with it.
Would you be in agreement with modifying the hours of operation?
Absolutely. I looked at the conditions as they were laid out. We have no issue with any of them.
Okay. Do committee members have any further questions or comments? Member Smith, please go ahead.
Through the chair to the applicant, LED signs are not permitted unless you get written approval from staff. Did you get written confirmation from staff at that time to allow for the sign?
In regards to,
When you originally put the LED sign in?
we replaced an existing sign with it. We trusted the sign company, who, by the way, has done all kinds of signs for the county, that if we needed a permit, if we needed to do something special, he would have made us aware of it. He didn't. He put the sign in and said, here you go.
Okay, so staff, I just want to confirm county staff weren't out to give you the approval at that time.
No, the only contact we had originally was the bylaw officer who told us we were forced to shut it off. That was the end of it. We didn't even know why at that point.
Okay, thank you. There was someone else in the public that wished to speak to this.
Just for 2 seconds.
Could you please give your name and what was the comment?
Do you want to stand up? So,
Par-
name's Martin Muir. I'm 12 Washington Street, which
Yes.
is diagonally across from the church.
Yes,
The gentleman's correct when he says the sign is pointed into the intersection. Unfortunately, diagonally across that intersection is my house, and I get the full glare of it. I can sympathise with him with the way the sign's been given. Take it. It's not a problem anymore, but it is bright. It was bright. I was trying to find a picture for winter time there when we had the snow and the sign was lit. The whole house was lit up as if I had 3 or 4 lights across the front. It's not LED is correct. It isn't a direct source light. It's diffused, but that light carries a good distance. It carries easily over the intersection.
So are you requesting the hours of operation be modified as well?
I don't see why a timer can't be put in place. You can do it at the house where your lights come on for sunset, they go off at sunrise.
Okay.
I don't see why the opposite can't be done for that time. And that way there's no need to specifically amend the timing. It basically runs on sunrise, sunset time. It'll change with your daylight saving.
Okay,
It'll revert back. It should be a simple fix.
thank you. And are there any other people who wish to address what the agent has raised? And Member Panag, you have a comment?
Through the chair, may I ask the agent, was the old sign acceptable to the neighborhood? Before the LED?
And it was lit, the old sign?
Yes, there's a lit sign there currently. There's a sign that's already there, this is Sacred Heart Church, and it's lit, so it's very visible. And I mean, it's not it doesn't bother us.
Okay.
The light is currently directed towards the sign itself, sorry.
We love the church.
Could you come up to just state again, both of you, because we can't hear it for the
Apologies.
record? Come up.
I also have written messaging between myself and Paul, the first gentleman, so apparently it seems like they weren't communicating because there was, before the bylaw officer had told him to shut it off, there was clear communication in a long line of text messaging.
So can I ask, when you started to raise your concerns, did you raise it with the county staff or with the church?
I went directly to the priest at the church first.
Okay.
And then he wasn't quite sure who I was supposed to speak with, but he did have the information, which I had mentioned to Paul. And then I called the county from there. And the county bylaw officer was able to give me Paul's information, and then I started communicating. I didn't think it was going to be difficult. I thought it was going to be easy. Like, I assumed that they didn't know that it was affecting us.
Okay, and this, I'm sorry, I didn't hear your name for the record, if you could.
Name is Martin Muir, M-A-R-T-I-N, M-U-I-R.
Okay, Martin Muir. And you're at 12 Washington?
12 Washington Street, yeah.
And could you just state your concerns again in case
So
committee?
it's basically just the same idea. The LED lights themselves are seriously bright. The screen was changing, scrolling through probably a set slideshow, and that flash every time it changed was what you were seeing nighttime constantly. Until the guys turned it off, then there wasn't an issue. That is basically the issue. It's the flashing, it's the brightness of it. Even when it's turned down, LED is still bright. And as he says, it's not a directed light source. It is a diffused light source, and it does spread out.
Especially on foggy nights and
And-
stuff.
Yes.
And you also suggested a modification to the hours of operation and the conditions.
Yes, please.
Okay. And is that the summary of your concerns now for
Pretty much.
everyone else
Pretty
who
much.
attended? Okay. Okay, well then, I'll just ask, are there any, I do have a question to staff, but I'll ask committee members if they have any comments. So you can take your seats, thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions to staff from committee members? Member Panay, please go ahead.
Through the chair, to the staff, was there ever a complaint that the traffic was disturbed? Somebody from the public complained that it's a distraction during the daytime even?
Through the Madam Chair to committee member, that is how this application was brought into the attention of the planning staff because there was initially a complaint through the bylaw enforcement for a neighbor's property, which was regarding the light that was shining into their living space, which I believe it was a bedroom during the evening hours. So as a result, then we determined that the LED sign is not permitted, but as requires a site-specific variance application. So in response to this, the conditions were added, which also include actually that it would be including daylight savings as well. That is part of the conditions. And also the brightness is part of the conditions as well.
Thank you.
Any other comments to staff? Member Emmett, please go ahead.
It says on one of the conditions that the brightness level shall be adjusted to, et cetera, et cetera. Is there a current level in the county bylaw as far as brightness and that kind of thing?
Through Madam Chair to the committee member, this will be reviewed once they go in through a building permit, and they'll be able to assess the brightness and I guess give them the appropriate levels.
Thank you. Any other comments? I only noticed, and maybe I'm splitting hairs, condition 2 refers to a sign permit, but in the narrative, it referred to a building permit, but it is specifically the sign permit they need, right?
Through Madam Chair, yes, they do have to go through a building permit in order to get the sign permit.
Okay. And then I'll ask the committee, are there any last questions to the applicant's agent or staff or members of the public? Then I will suggest to the committee, perhaps we could look at modifying potentially the condition 5. I did hear from you, sorry, before you pointed out that as per Mr. Martin's suggestion, that the hours of operation are covered with daylight saving time, but that doesn't, I don't see it specifically in any of the conditions.
Through Madam Chair, yes, that's correct. I think this will be reviewed during the permit process.
So then are you requesting that the committee members provide new conditions?
If the committee members would like to add to that condition?
Then I will throw it out there. Member Smith, do you have any suggestions?
Do you want me to just provide a resolution with the changed condition?
Yes, well, if you could provide the wording you would find acceptable in the conditions.
Yeah, so I would make a resolution to approve application SV 125RF, subject to amending condition number 1-5. The hours of operation shall be during daylight.
That's a good suggestion for wording. And then are there any others you wish to modify? Then I'll ask, is there a seconder to support this? Member Hamilton. And I will now call the vote, starting with Member Emmett.
Yes.
Member Schmidt.
Yes.
Member Vamus.
Yes.
Member Hamilton.
Yes.
Member Panay.
Yes.
And Member Smith.
Yes.
And Brown, yes. The motion to approve application SV 125RF has carried, subject to the modified conditions, and it has now been approved, that application. Thank you. I will now introduce item 5.2 for application B3-25-LK and turn it over to staff for the presentation of the report.
Good evening, committee. Good to see you guys. This is a consent application submitted by Bob Phillips of Cahoon Engineering on behalf of owners Renzo and Lanuda Tonieto for lands located at 49 River Road. The subject lands are located on the south side of River Road, west of Newport Road and east of Cockshut Road. Subject lands have a frontage of approximately 97 meters and a total area of approximately 5.72 hectares. The property currently has one single detached residential dwelling, one accessory structure, and are privately serviced, while the surrounding area consists of low-density rural residential land uses. Due to the transition policies of the 2023 official plan, this application is considered subsequent to the previously approved rezoning application ZBA 2024 DN, which was reviewed under the 2012 official plan and has therefore also been reviewed under the 2012 official plan. The subject lands are designated rural residential and natural heritage within the County of Brant official plan and are currently zoned residential singles and semis within the site-specific, rural residential site-specific 63 and 64 within the County of Brant zoning bylaw. The applicant is proposing to sever the existing house from the subject lands in order to create two parcels. The severance is to facilitate the future construction of one single detached dwelling on the retained lands in accordance with the previously approved rezoning application. The severed lands will have a lot area of 0.62 hectares with 47 meters of frontage, and the retained lands will result in an area of 5.1 hectares with a frontage of 50 meters. All other zoning requirements within the rural residential zone have been met. As a result of the review of the consent application, staff is of the opinion that the request is in keeping with the general intent of the County of Brant official plan and zoning bylaw. The request is minor in nature and the proposed severance will not negatively impact surrounding residential uses. I am recommending approval of application B325 LK, subject to the attached conditions. Thank you.
Thank you, Logan, for the presentation. Do committee members have any comments or questions to staff on this? Member Hamilton? Oh.
Through the chair to staff, looking at it, there seems to be a bit of a road system through the farm or through the retained piece. It also looks like that coming in off 49, there is the laneway, but it's still connected. Should there be a condition to break that laneway that appears to be there now once this severance, if it goes through?
Through the chair, it's my understanding that the entrances would be separate should the application be approved. If you're speaking about the driveway for the existing dwelling, that would remain with the
Yes.
existing house.
No, but if you look at the picture, it goes, there's an X there of the driveways going through, and it's connected to that first one, and we've never stated that those driveways cannot be connected, or an easement put forth if they were to stay.
I understand. Through the chair. Thank you for notifying me of that. That's a good catch. I haven't included a condition for that at this time. If that's something you wish to add, then by all means.
Member Smith, please go ahead.
Through the chair to staff, so maybe a two-parter, sorry. One, where is the septic going? And two, I don't see a condition for proof of potable water. So just kind of your feedback on both of those, please.
Through the chair. So the septic for the severed parcel will remain, septic and well will remain with the existing house on the property, and a new septic bed and well would be required for the proposed lands. And sorry, can you repeat the second part of your question?
So I guess first one's not answered yet. So is the septic, I just want to confirm that the septic is wholly within the new proposed lot boundaries.
Through the chair, that's correct.
Okay. Second one is proof of potable water. I think we've included this before when we're creating a new lot, just to make sure that we can actually service it. Just wondering if that's a condition.
Through the chair, that was handled at the rezoning stage.
But you can't put a condition on zoning, so just wondering. Could it be something that the committee attaches?
Through the chair, understand, yes, that could be something like
Okay.
the committee
Thank
could
you.
add.
So you're suggesting addition of a condition addressing water. Okay. Any other comments, questions from staff from committee members to staff. Yes, Member Hamilton?
Through the chair to staff, there is currently on the retained land a driveway. But in the drawing, it shows a change in that position of the driveway. And there was nothing from the Department of looking after the roads to state about putting that in. Was that also in the rezoning? Which we never seen?
Through the chair, that would be handled through the building permit process. Any entrance that would be established for the added lot would be handled through the building permit process.
So we don't need to have a condition there where we've had others, but we've had conditions to take them out if they're already there. I'm just trying to understand.
Through the chair, it would be possible to add a condition, just that there is a separate driveway provided for the retained parcel.
With a permit from the county.
Yeah, from the operations.
Right. That's really what I'm asking. Okay, thank you.
So then you wish to add a condition as well?
Yes. About it, if they're changing the driveway.
Okay.
I'm not sure that driveway has a culvert through it anyways. I think it's just sort of put on the side and brought in for a round.
Any other comments, questions? Member Panag, do you? No? No to staff. So is the applicant or their agent present?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Bob Phillip from Cahoon Engineering.
Okay.
We've reviewed the planning staff report. We are satisfied with the conditions. Obviously, this is a newly created lot that will have a separate driveway to the new lot, and that'll be subject to approval of the county to get that permit. With respect to water supply, this is a very large lot. And those issues were dealt with sort of through the rezoning process. So I don't really see an issue, but we certainly have no issue if the committee recommends an additional condition. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have going forward, but as I said, we are satisfied with the planning staff report.
Thank you. Do committee member Hamilton, you have a question to Mr. Phillips?
Yes, through the staff, to the agent. Maybe my eyes weren't looking straight, but if you go straight back that laneway, there appeared to be a building back near a wooded area that's not been identified in this thing, and I'm just wondering, is that building to stay or to come down? And what is the building for, maybe? That would maybe answer my question.
You have muted your microphone, Mr. Phillips. Can you please unmute it? Thank you.
I'm sorry. That's an accessory building, and the owner wishes to retain it, and hopefully we can incorporate that into the design. The owner wishes to move to the new lot to create a new home.
Maybe just a second backup. What is that accessory building currently being used for?
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure it's just storage.
Okay, it just seemed to be a fairly large building back in there, and it wasn't identified any time in the application, so I was just wanting to figure it out. Thank you.
I believe the applicant is present. Maybe he could answer some of those questions. Could you please come to the podium and give us your name for the record? Thank you, and then we can all hear you.
My name is Renzo Tonietto. I'm the landowner. And it's just the shed, it's a storage shed in the back there. My wife does exercise, she has some weights in there, and it's not really used for anything other than that.
So there's no hydro back there at that point?
No.
Okay. No, it was just a matter, I seen the building, but it wasn't identified in any of the documentation, so I just wanted to get clarification. So
And as
thank
far
you.
as the driveway, I actually moved it over today because I was part of the conditions when we had our virtual meeting 2 years ago. And they recommended to remove the connections between the two properties. And I actually did it today.
That, and that, I accept that, but the thing is that was done between zoning and yourself, which is okay, but it hasn't been identified to the committee, and and those questions should be brought up, or that information should have been provided previously, so that we are aware and wouldn't ask questions that have already been looked after.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's acceptable.
Are there any other
other-
questions to the applicant? I just have a quick question. And so the intent, if you look at the aerial view, and you've got the driveway that goes specifically to 49, and then you have the other area which is mapped out as the retained lands. Mr. Phillip mentioned there was a plan to put up a new house on the severed lot. You mean the new house will go on the retained lands?
Yes.
And so which driveway are you planning on using for the retained?
There's a driveway that's been there for over 50 years that they used to access when it was a farm.
With like
But-
the little parking lot close up to the road?
Yes,
Okay, so you
but that's
plan
going to
on-
have to be amended and whatever.
And then I was out there, which driveway are you saying that was moved today?
The track,
Oh, okay.
the running track looks like a cross.
Yes, okay,
The one that goes to the new lot has been removed.
okay, thank you. Any other comments, questions? So then I'll ask, are there any final questions to the agent, applicant, or staff? And are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this? There are none. Then I'll ask the committee if there is a motion anyone wishes to put forth, seeking a seconder.
I'd like to make a motion that application B3-25-LK be approved subject to the attached conditions.
I believe there was suggestions for, if you could include it in your motion, for Member Smith to add the condition about the potable water, and Member Hamilton was for the driveway. Can you, subject to modified conditions?
Subject to the modified conditions.
And is there a seconder? Member Emmett? I'll now call the vote, starting with Member Emmett.
Yes?
Member Schmidt.
Yes.
Member Vamus.
Yes.
Member Hamilton.
Yes.
Member Penag.
Yes.
Member Smith.
Yes.
And Brown, yes. The motion to approve application B3-25-LK has carried, so that application has now been approved. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will now introduce item 5.3 for application B12-25-PB and turn it over to staff for the presentation of the report and the recommendation.
Hello. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so good evening, Chair and members of the committee. This is Pierre Baudot, and I'm here to represent consent application B12-25 PB for surplus farm dwelling severance at 612 Birch Road. The application is surplus.
Excuse me, Pierre.
Farm
Can
dwelling
you-
is support.
Can you hear me? Can you share your PowerPoint
Yeah, I can hear you.
presentation? Nothing's showing up on our screens here.
Okay. Okay.
We can see it now.
Okay, just a minute.
If you could start over, because it was a little
Yeah.
difficult to hear you.
I will. Just give me a minute, sorry. So now you can see my presentation, right?
We can see your first screen. That's just listing the application number and the details.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, there's no mapping or anything being presented.
Yeah, it's just the first slide.
Yes,
So, yeah. Okay, so I'll start from the beginning. Good evening, Chair and members of the committee. I'm here to represent consent application B1225PB for a surplus farm dwelling severance at 612 Birch Road. This application is supported by report number RPT 026025, and staff are recommending approval subject to conditions.
Are you added? Oh, okay.
So the subject lands are located on the south side of Birch Road, west of Mount Pleasant, and total approximately 29.21 hectares or 72.18 acres with frontage on Birch Road. The property currently contains one single detached dwelling, a detached garage, 4 agricultural structures, and natural heritage features on the eastern portion, which will remain with the retained lands. The lands are the designated agricultural and natural heritage system in the county of Brant official plan and are zoned agricultural and natural heritage under zoning bylaw 6116. This application conforms to the provincial planning statement 2024, the county of Brant official plan 2023, and the zoning bylaw with one minor deficiency addressed through a concurrent zoning bylaw amendment. This application proposes to sever the existing dwelling and garage as a surplus farm dwelling. The retained lands will continue to be used for agricultural and contain several agricultural structures. A related or concurrent zoning bylaw amendment ZBA 1225 PB proposes to rezone the retained lands from A to A9 to prohibit any future residential development. The A9 zoning will prohibit new dwellings on the retained parcel and recognize reduced side yard setback of 4.7 meters for an existing agricultural structure where 15 meters is the requirement as per the applicable provision of the zoning. The site-specific provision ensures compliance with zoning bylaw while preserving the existing built form. This application has followed the required process. It was circulated for technical review, was deemed complete, and is now before you for a decision. If approved, there will be a 20-day appeal period followed by the clearing of conditions, including road widening dedication, zoning bylaw amendment finalization, and environmental protection measures. In conclusion, application supports farm consolidation, protects agricultural land through zoning, and has received no planning staff recommend approval subject to the conditions outlined in the report. Thank you for your time, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Pierre, for the presentation. Do any committee members have any comments or questions to staff on this application? Member Smith.
Through the chair to staff, just wondering, because I tried to do a quick measurement myself, there seems to be a livestock barn on one of the neighboring properties to the south west. Just wondering if MDS was taken into account.
MDS has not been taken into account because the house is existing and the we haven't actually taken the MDS into account.
Could I potentially have staff do a quick measurement of that to make sure it's over 1,000 meters, if that's possible?
But the house, through the chair, the house is existing. I do not think if the MDS should be taken into account or not.
You're creating a new lot. If I could just get confirmation that it's over 1,000 meters, that would be perfect.
We can absolutely measure this and I can provide you the feedback.
Can I ask, did you come up with the 1,000 meters based on livestock units in that barn, or?
Typically, if it's over 1,000 meters, we wouldn't take it into consideration, so I just want to make sure it's outside of that ring. Yeah.
So clarify, are you waiting for me to provide you with the measurements right now?
Through the chair, I would just like to confirm, was the property with the barn fronting on Ellis Avenue?
So if you look on page 14 of the report, you'll see it in that southwest corner. It appears to be a livestock barn. I just want confirmation. I think that's actually
Which page, sorry?
Pleasant Ridge Road.
Page number?
Page 14.
Page 14.
Do you want me to go on to my next question while we wait? Yeah, okay. So one more question through the chair to staff. So I see that there's a reduced.
No,
We'll have the second question while Lauren checks the distance, if that's okay, Pierre. Can we have your
Okay,
question,
sounds good.
Member Smith?
So through the chair to staff, a question regarding the setback of that existing barn that will be closest to that new property line on the lot to be severed. There is a hydro line that actually runs down that new property line on that west side. I just want to confirm, and this might be a question to the applicant, but I want staff's perspective. Did the property line go with the hydro line? And I just want to know that because you cannot fit farm equipment between that building and that new proposed lot line. So I just want to confirm why that lot line was chosen.
Well, the lot line, through the chair, the lot line has not been chosen yet, and this is something that we need to clarify. Due to the site conditions and the circumstances of this lot that has been surrounded by existing agricultural structures on the west and the natural heritage features on the east, and after discussions with the applicant, we have preferred to make it flexible to address the natural heritage and be flexible in terms of the exact lot line as a result of the severance. After a legal heritage properly, and any features, as you said, if there is a hydro line.
Okay, I can refer to the applicant as well. Thank you.
Did you arrive at a calculation?
Through the chair, it appears as approximately 652 meters away.
Have you been able to identify what the structure is?
Through the chair, further investigation would be required. Just from the aerial imagery, I'm not able to confirm that it is livestock, so potentially condition.
Go ahead, please.
I may just, if I can elaborate on that, so that would have to be a calculation that's completed before the committee could even consider, because that might need to be a variance. So I just want to put that out there. We wouldn't be able to put a condition on that until it's kind of, we have a calculation for it.
Any other comments or questions from committee members? Member Panay?
Through the chair to the staff, I'm a bit confused about the accessory buildings. On page 15 of 15, you have the accessory building and the house. And on page 69 of 221, the accessory buildings, the 3 barns are not included in the severed lot.
Can you address
Actually,
that?
buildings are 2.
Is this screen?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but I think your screen is frozen. It's okay now. Can you
Oh,
please?
sorry for that. Yes, through the chair, the accessory structure is meant for the garage and the pool. accessory to the existing dwelling. And the other buildings are agricultural structures in the retained lands. I'm not sure if that clarifies the type of buildings in both lots.
So they're not included, right?
Right. They are, as far as I know, to be left with the farmland.
Yeah.
And then Member Smith, you had a comment?
Just a comment through the chair to staff regarding that setback. So because it is a new property line, that's technically not legal non-complying, so we would need a variance for that reduced setback because we're going from 15 meters down to 4.7. And a variance has not been included in this report. So the alternative would be that we'd have to remove the structure and put a condition on the application. So we might need some further feedback from the applicant on that.
And this is where I was confused, and I'm glad you've raised that point, because it is, to me, a significant deficiency, but it's supposedly being addressed with the zoning bylaw amendment, and I'm trying to understand the difference, as Member Smith has pointed out, about a variance. Do we not normally address deficiencies like that with a variance?
Through the chair, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, so through the chair, because the deficiency is significant, we were not able to address it through a minor variance. And that's why we have included it into the zoning bylaw amendment to address the deficiency, the requirements from 15 meters as per the provision to only 4.7.
So to address Member Smith's concern, you're saying that the minor variance is being covered under the zoning bylaw amendment. Is that correct?
Through the chair, sorry to say no, there is no minor variance because the deficiency is huge. We have addressed it through a zoning bylaw amendment. There is no minor variance.
Okay, thank you. And then is that the same where you pointed out where the hydro lines are? Because I can't recall which side are you saying they wouldn't be able to get down?
I think I'm just looking for clarification on why that lot line of the severed lot, actually, let me just make sure I've got my things here, how you've named these. Why is the westerly boundary of the severed lot been placed there? And why can't it be pushed over so that there's a larger setback between that existing building and that new property line? Is it because of the hydro line, or is there some other reason?
Through the chair, that's a good question. I'm happy to try to explain the circumstances and the site condition of this lot. So there is a line of trees that has been surrounding the lot subject to severance. However, because there are natural heritage features on the east and the agricultural structures on the west, the exact lot lines have not been decided yet. We have chosen to be flexible in terms of what will be the lot lines as per a legal survey that will determine where exactly the natural heritage and what will be the exact lot lines. I'm not sure if this explains that the west lot line is not, it's determined because it's between the agricultural structures and the accessory structure that are attached to the house, or like not attached, but like part of the house or the existing house. But not because of the hydro line.
Go ahead.
If I may, I can defer to the applicant for further explanation.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's probably, because my concern is with that 5A, to address the lot configuration, it only refers to the natural heritage system, so maybe it's a matter of modifying the condition. But any further comments or questions? Oh,
Through the chair, may I provide additional clarification with regards to the MDS requirement?
okay.
So MDS guideline number 9 states that were an existing dwelling to be severed in nearby livestock facility are located on separate lots prior to consent, then an MDS 1 setback is not required for the consent application. So that's why it was not a requirement.
Just because it's not a new build, it's all right, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. That's why I believe I said, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Then I would ask, if there's no further committee questions, if the applicant's agent could come forward and address some of the questions we have. I assume you do wish to add to the staff report.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Chair and committee members. My name is Ruchika Angresh. I'm representing the owner for this surplus farm dwelling severance application. So lots of questions. There's no MDS, no livestock within 1 kilometer. And then again, as Lauren pointed out, the guideline which exempts existing houses for surplus farm dwelling. But again, there's no MDS conflict. That was clarified at the time of the application submission. I'm going to try and remember all the questions that the committee members asked. With respect to the hydro lines, the existing western side has a row of hedgerow of trees that has been determined as a natural property line for the severance. And rather than coming a little bit closer, it gives that natural buffer. And then the hydro lines, 2 of the hydro lines, it is my understanding, are not in use. And then there's already an existing easement between the 2 properties that will carry it over. There are a number of conditions that have been included with respect to the side yard setback, with respect to there's a natural heritage feature on the east side that we would, so in terms of the setback, I'll speak that first. We submitted a concurrent zoning bylaw amendment application for prohibition of dwelling on the retained lands, which is a common condition. Through the initial review of the application, it was determined that the side yard setback between those existing farm structures and the new property line, it requires 15 meters according to the bylaw, and we are 4.5 roughly. And so we have modified that zoning application to capture that additional piece as well. And then further review of the environmental policies, the environmental planner at the county mentioned that there is a natural heritage feature on the east side of the property. And a certain distance needs to be maintained between that feature and the new property line. And so we have worked with the environmental planner at the county and Pierre made some suggestions on alternate eastern property line. It could be modified, but the western property line remains where it is. But that, again, becomes a part of the condition. I believe it's condition 9. Oh, sorry, condition 6, that everything will be satisfied as part of, condition 5 that speaks to satisfying that environmental condition, and then condition 6 speaks to the zoning bylaw amendment capturing all those pieces that I just mentioned. I believe I have captured, but I'm here happy to answer any more questions of clarification you may have.
Member Emmett, go ahead.
The severed property, does it contain its own septic system and well water as well, potable water?
Through you, Madam Chair, that's correct. There's an existing septic system and private well on the severed lands.
Thank you.
Member Smith?
Through the chair, to the applicant, the easement you're speaking about, what does that entail?
Sorry, through you, Madam Chair, I couldn't hear you, sorry.
The easement that you noted, what does that entail?
I think it's just the hydro line, through you, Madam Chair.
Okay, so then the hydro line is not currently active anymore, so technically that easement wouldn't be applicable? Is that what I heard?
Through you, Madam Chair, I don't have the easement documents in front of me, but my understanding is that the hydro line is not active, and through the circulation, we didn't receive any comments from hydro as well.
Okay. If I may ask one follow-up,
Please go ahead.
where is the septic on this severed lot?
So it's right behind the house. That was included in the survey that was provided with the application.
Yeah.
Right behind the existing house.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments to the agent? I have a question because I'm a little confused. On page 4, we all agree that it's pointing out the side yard setback is deficient significantly from 15 meters to 4.7. In the discussions, the hydro lines, from what I've picked up, are going between the potentially severed lot and the ag buildings, of which we have a zoning bylaw amendment to address the side yard setback deficiency. So to me, it looks like there's plenty of room to move that, the westerly border, if I'm identifying my directions correctly. Why can it just not move more easterly away from the ag buildings and the hydro lines?
Through you, Madam Chair, the survey is not included in the report, so I'm not sure if you have a copy of the survey available. The hydro line, the hydro pole actually does, there's 3 lines that go out of that. So it's not just moving the western line, it actually branches into 3 separate directions. So that's why I mentioned, like, I'm looking at the survey in front of me. I'm not sure if that was, it wasn't part of the report itself.
So
but
is the hydro to the potentially severed house coming from that line, or is it coming elsewhere from the road?
It's coming elsewhere. That hydro line is inactive, let's put it that way.
Please go ahead.
I think maybe if I can just make this very simple, because we've been talking around it. Farm equipment will not be able to drive down the side between that new property line and the new barn. I'm trying to kind of understand, the farm equipment can't drive down it currently because there's a hydro line there. I'm just trying to understand, can farm equipment even get beside that barn now?
Through you, Madam Chair, the farm equipment does not go in between the barn because there's a hedgerow of trees.
Okay, so the hedgerow is not shown in our site photos, so I think there's a bit of a lack of understanding here because I can't see how a hedgerow grew by the time our photos were in the report. So
Yeah.
I'm
So-
just trying to, I think there's a bit of confusion around that, so if you can provide some more background, that'd be very helpful.
Through you, Madam Chair, so between the existing buildings and the new property line is a hedgerow. So the farm equipment does not go in between anyways right now. So the hydro lines will not have any impact on the farm equipment. The farm, it goes around it, let's put it that way, because it's a farm cluster, so all the equipment goes around those buildings. It will not go between the new property line and the existing farm buildings on the property. I hope that clarifies.
When was the hedgerow put in?
Oh, it's been there for decades.
It can't, we have a photo in the report, so I'm just super confused.
Aren't you referring to in between the house and the ag buildings?
Yes.
This photo doesn't show any hedgerow there. It shows a hedgerow on the other side.
Sorry, I can't.
Do you see what I mean? Okay, so then my question goes back to me, and as Member Smith has pointed out, it's just open green space between the house and the ag buildings. So why can we not move the lot edge closer to the severed house? I'll throw it out to the committee to come up with some, it doesn't.
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, maybe I'm not understanding. There is a hedgerow that exists on two sides, on the western side and on the southern side of the existing house.
Is this?
My
the-
directions are right.
Is this the line that Member Smith is referring to?
There's the hedgerow. You can see that. You can see on the aerial photo, there's the hedgerow right there.
Okay, but that's not where I thought you were
No.
referring it to here. So then my question still remains, why can this not come closer to the house?
Is it possible to share the survey I think that will solve a lot of things that we are talking about. Thanks, Laura. The survey actually captures the hedgerow and the hydropole and the hydro lines that we have been talking about.
Can I just ask staff a quick question? When were the site photos taken?
Okay, I see that now.
Through to staff, when were the site photos taken?
I mean, looking at it.
Just a minute.
Doesn't need to be a specific date, just kind of gauge timeframes here.
I believe it was taken during June.
June of this year. Okay, thank you.
Any other comments from committee members or questions?
I think the hedgerows has little bumps.
Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this application? Then I'll ask committee members, do you have any final questions, comments to staff or the agent? I think we've raised lots of issues. Then I'll ask the committee, does a member wish to put forth a motion, and if necessary, state within any modified conditions? No motion? Maybe there could be a motion if there's still to defer. Member Smith, please go ahead.
I'll make a motion to defer report number RPT 026025, application B1225, to allow the applicant additional time to speak with staff about the proposed westerly property line of the severed lot to increase that setback to the existing barn on the retained. Is that enough direction?
I believe so. Do we have a seconder? Member Schmidt wishes to second. I'll now put it to the committee for the vote. Do you wish to vote in favor or not of the deferral on this application? Starting with Member Emmett.
Yes.
Member Schmidt.
Yes.
Member Vamus.
Yes.
Member Hamilton.
Yes.
Member Pineg.
Yes.
Member Smith.
Yes.
And Brown, yes. The motion to defer application B1225PB has carried. So we are looking for further clarification on the lot configuration, I believe. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will now introduce item 5.4 for application B1125-AV for 43 Old Greenfield Road, and turn it over to staff for the presentation of the report and recommendation.
Good evening. I am presenting consent application B1125AV submitted by the English Group on behalf of the owners of the property located at 43 Old Greenfield Road. This application proposes a surplus farm dwelling severance, and staff recommend approval of consent application B1125AV. The subject property is located on the south side of Old Greenfield Road, situated between Cockshott Road and Newport Road within the former township of Brantford. The property has a total area of 6.41 hectares and approximately 233 meters of frontage along Old Greenfield Road. It is located outside of any designated settlement area and is surrounded by agricultural land uses. The property at 43 Old Greenfield Road is regular in shape and contains a single detached dwelling, a shed, and a frame pavilion. This application proposes to sever the existing dwelling as a surplus farm dwelling residence. The property is privately serviced by an existing well and septic system, and the retained lands are currently being actively farmed. The subject property at 43 Old Greenfield Road is designated agriculture in the County of Brant official plan and zoned agriculture under the zoning bylaw. The abutting farm parcel or the benefiting parcel at 65 Old Greenfield Road is designated agriculture and natural heritage system and zoned agriculture and natural heritage. The application proposes to sever a 0.84 hectare lot containing the existing surplus dwelling with a frontage of approximately 38 meters. The 5.57 hectare retained portion, which does not include any residential dwelling, will be merged with the abutting 24.43 hectare farm parcel at 65 Old Greenfield Road under the same ownership. This will result in a 30 hectare consolidated agricultural parcel supporting efficient land use and long-term farm viability. The benefiting parcel has frontage on both Old Greenfield Road and Sour Springs Road. The lands are actively farmed and contain one detached residential dwelling and several structures related to agricultural use. There is no livestock operation on the property. The lands contain significant woodlands, significant valley lands, and a watercourse that traverses the eastern portion of the property. This slide highlights the key considerations supporting the proposed severance. The subject property is regular in shape and contains a single detached dwelling with a footprint of approximately 165 square meters. There is also a shed of approximately 15 square meters, which will be removed to facilitate the severance. A frame pavilion, approximately 90 square meters in area, is located on the property and will be used for agricultural storage. It will remain with the retained farm parcel and is therefore considered an agricultural structure. A minor variance is required to permit an interior side yard setback of 6.88 meters for the existing pavilion on the retained lands, whereas a minimum of 15 meters is required under the zoning bylaw. The severed lot is appropriately sized to accommodate the existing dwelling and private services. The severed lot is located entirely outside of the natural heritage zone with no impact to the existing trees. No new residential dwelling are proposed on either the severed or retained lands. The application meets the PPS definition of a surplus farm dwelling and conforms to the county's official plan and the general intent of the zoning bylaw. A public notice was circulated by mail on July 2nd to all property owners within 60 meters of the subject lands. A site visit was conducted on June 26, and a public notice sign was posted on the property on June 30. At this time, no public comments or concerns have been received. In conclusion, consent application B1125AV proposes a surplus farm dwelling severance that supports the continued agricultural use of the lands through farm consolidation. The severed lot is appropriately sized to accommodate the existing dwelling and private services, and the retained lands will be merged with the abutting farm parcel to establish a larger contiguous agricultural operation. Planning staff recommend approval of the application subject to condition outlined in the staff report, including a subsequent minor variance application to address the reduced interior side yard setback for the existing pavilion on the retained lands. Thank you, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Afsun, for the presentation. Do committee members have questions on this application? Member Hamilton, please go ahead.
Through the chair to staff, The one building is to be taken down that's on the county line. Do we need to have a condition stating that should be removed? In the
Through the
past,
chair.
we have incorporated that into it, that it should be. I'm just asking what your thoughts are on it.
Through the chair to the committee member, I believe without removing that accessory structure, the severance will not be possible. So there might be no need to add a condition for that.
Where does it state that that building has to be taken down in this thing, other than in the verbiage prior to? It's not in the condition.
Right, but the proposed severed property line is exactly on the shed. I mean, it goes at the middle of the shed, so I believe there is no need to add a condition because without removing that, the proposed severed lot line is not possible to be there.
I'd only suggest that if the committee feels it appropriate, they could add that condition.
Okay. I would like to add that condition that it is taken down as, it doesn't make any difference to the severance.
Right.
It's just a matter that it's designated and taken down, because we've had other situations where they were designated and they were never taken down, but they were never cut the building in half as well.
Right.
Right.
Thank you. Member Smith, you had a question?
Sorry, this application is very similar to the previous, so I'm going to ask the exact same questions. Where's the septic located on the severed lands? And why was the proposed easterly property boundary not moved further westerly so that setback is a bit larger?
Through the chair to the committee member, the septic is located at the rear yard, at the proposed rear yard, behind the existing dwelling. And I believe the reason for the proposed lot line is that if we move the lot line, the lot will be so narrow. So maybe the reason is to create a more appropriate lot. But the agent is here and she may be able to provide more accurate response to that.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions from committee members? And to follow on Member Smith's question, very similar application, yet the other one addressed the side yard setback deficiency with a zoning bylaw amendment. And this one does not have a zoning bylaw amendment.
Through the chair, we have added a condition for a subsequent planning act application that could be a minor variance application to address that reduced side yard setback.
And that was my question on the other application. What's the difference in the conditions when we refer to the minor variance versus the zoning bylaw amendment? Does one have more weight?
Through the chair, I can address this. So the previous application, it was being consolidated with a parcel that didn't have a dwelling, so it had to go through an A9 to not permit a dwelling in the future. So that was why I was able to all be combined under one application, whereas this application, the consolidation of the parcel will be with a parcel that already has a dwelling, and you're only permitted to have one dwelling on a property.
So the minor variance here will cover it, you're saying?
Yes, that is correct.
Because generally, the conditions are worded that it refers to specifically a minor variance or a zoning bylaw, and this just says subsequent planning act application.
Yes, that is correct. It's to leave it open, but absolutely a minor variance could address it.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, please, Member Smith.
Sorry to dwell on this. Is there a reason why the minor variance wasn't included in this application so we can get this done tonight?
Through the chair to the committee member, we kind of identified this issue lately because we thought we could consider that structure as an accessory structure that meets the interior side yard setback. But after confirming with the agent and we realized that the use is for agricultural storage, we have a specific definition for accessory structure in our zoning bylaw, which does not include the agricultural storage. So we identified that we must consider it as an agricultural building, and it doesn't meet the required side yard setback, interior side yard setback for the agricultural building.
Just a bit of a follow-up through the chair. Is there any cost savings or time savings if we defer this application to include the minor variance? I understand you probably have to put the public notices out, but is there cost savings associated with that, being on one application?
Through the chair to the committee member, I believe as it requires, in general, it requires 2 separate applications. So there will be a separate fee, even if, for example, we combine those applications together.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions to staff? Then, given some of the questions raised, is the applicant's agent present, or the applicant? Oh, there you are.
Hello again. Madam Chair, through you, a couple of questions that were raised with respect to the lot lines. There is a significant grade and a lot of trees that have been planted along the, let me get my bearings right on this one, on the easterly property line, and that's why that was chosen as the property line. Again, as Afsoon mentioned, it will otherwise create a very, very narrow lot, which again does not make it feasible. There's no loss of agricultural land through this application, and I think that is one of the key policy that the official plan along with PPS that we meet. All the area that is being proposed to be severed is currently being manicured with grass and trees. I think if that addresses the property line questions, then I can speak to the variance. As Afsoon mentioned, that it was identified very late in the process, and that's why there's a condition that has been included. We will apply for the minor variance in coming weeks, and will be in front of the committee with that particular decision with respect to that accessory structure as well. Happy to answer any more questions you may have.
Does that answer? Yes.
Just a point, I just wanted, because I'm now seeing the picture of that structure, and I wouldn't say that farm equipment's really being parked in there, so I just want to make that clear. It doesn't appear that it's really in a condition to be part of the farm operation. I just want to make sure that's confirmed.
Sorry, through you, Madam Chair, there's no farm equipment that is stored in that pavilion. It's a pavilion as it is shown on, I think, page 23 of 25 of the report itself. But it is going to be part of the retained farm.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions to the agent? Then I'll open. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this? There are none. Then I'll ask the committee, are there any final points of discussion or question, comments you wish to raise? I'm not sure what the committee's feeling is regarding a separate request to have the minor variance, or if you feel that condition 3 covers it adequately. So maybe some input into that, or if someone addresses it with their motion. Member Smith, please go ahead. Are
I'll
you
make-
making a motion, or are you?
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to approve B1125AV, subject to amended conditions, adding a condition to ensure that the frame shed that is identified on the proposed new property line is removed. It says frame shed on the survey.
The shed you
Yeah.
were, not the pavilion.
Not the pavilion, the frame shed that's shown on the property line. Yeah.
And then you're okay with condition 3 as it stands for the Planning Act application? Okay, do you have a question, or you wish to second?
Second.
Wish to second. Okay, I will now call the vote, starting with Member Schmidt,
Yes.
Member Vamus,
Yes.
Member Hamilton,
Yes.
Member Panag,
Yes.
Member Smith.
Yes.
And Brown, yes. The motion to approve application B1125AV has carried. That application has now been approved, subject to the modified condition. Thank you. I will now introduce item 5.5 for application A825-AV and turn it over to staff for the presentation of the report and recommendation.
This presentation is for a minor variance application, A825AV, submitted by Kevin Block for the property located at 363 Burt Road in the former township of South Dumfries. Planning staff recommend approval of minor variance application A825AV. The subject lands are located west of Burt Road, south of McLean School Road, and are situated outside of any designated settlement boundary within the former township of South Dumfries. The property has an area of approximately 2,068 square meters with 42.6 meters of frontage along Burt Road. It currently contains a single detached dwelling, a shed, and 2 existing entrances from Burt Road. A temporary fabric structure is also present on the lot and is proposed to be removed as part of this application. The aerial photo may appear to show a pond or swimming pool on the lot, however, no such feature exists on the property. The property is serviced by a private well and septic system and features a sloping terrain with natural features, including significant valley lands. A water course runs near the western property line, but crosses outside the property boundaries. The surrounding area is primarily agricultural in nature, with some rural residential lots in the vicinity. The lands are designated countryside and natural heritage system in the official plan and are zoned agriculture and natural heritage under the zoning bylaw. The property currently contains a single detached dwelling with a footprint of approximately 128 square meters, a 17.6 square meters shed, and 2 existing entrances from Burt Road. This application seeks relief from Section 4, Table 441 of the zoning bylaw to permit a maximum lot coverage of 7.6% for accessory structures, whereas the bylaw permits a maximum of 5%. The variance would allow for a proposed 140 square meter detached storage building in addition to the existing 17.6 square meter shed, for a total of 157.6 square meter of accessory structure coverage. The proposed detached structure is intended to be used for personal storage purposes on the property. The proposed building is located over 18 meters from the water course and is planned to be accessed via the existing northern entrance. This slide highlights key considerations related to this application. The GRCA has issued a permit and confirmed the proposed structure is outside the regulated area with no objections. The northern entrance was constructed without approval and does not comply with the county's entrance bylaw. Engineering and operations staff have confirmed that only one entrance is permitted for rural residential lots, As a result, the northern entrance must be removed with access providing through the existing southern driveway. Tree protection measures will be required, and the applicant has been advised to consult a certified arborist. From a zoning perspective, the structure complies with all other requirements, including setbacks and height. Relief is only required for lot coverage. In accordance with the Planning Act, public notice was issued on neighboring property owners, to neighboring property owners on July 2nd, and a notice sign was posted on the property on June 30. A site visit was conducted on June 26. As of today's meeting, no public comments or concerns have been received. Staff are satisfied that this application meets the four tests under the Planning Act, as it is minor in nature, maintains the general intent and purpose of the both official plan and zoning bylaw, and is appropriate and desirable for the development of the property. As such, staff recommend approval of minor variance application A825AV, subject to the conditions including removal of the unpermitted northern entrance with access provided only through the existing southern entrance, and implementation of tree protection measures confirmed through consultation with a certified arborist. Thank you, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Afsoon, for the presentation. Are there any questions or comments from committee members? Appears there are none. Oh, Member Hamilton?
Through the chair to staff, that fabric building there, is it to be removed as well as the driveway, or is it going to stay?
Through the chair to the committee member, it will be removed before constructing the new storage.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? Is the applicant or their agent present and wish to add to the staff report?
Yeah, hello. It's Kevin Block. I'm present and I have no further comments.
Okay, thank you. Do any committee members have comments or questions to the applicant? Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this public portion? Then I'll close the public portion of the meeting. Then I'll ask committee members, do you have any final questions to staff or the applicant? Since there are none, I will request a motion. Member Hamilton.
I move that, moved by myself seeking a seconder that application A8-25-AV be approved because it's minor in nature and it follows the zoning bylaws of the County of Brant.
Seconder, Member Panag. And I'll start with the vote with Member Emmett.
Yes.
Member Schmidt.
Yes.
Member Bananas.
Yes.
Member Hamilton.
Yes.
Member Panag.
Yes.
Member Smith.
Yes.
And Brown, yes. The motion to approve application A825AV has carried. That application has now been approved. I'll now introduce item 5.6 for application A10-25-RF for 160 Oakland Road.
Well, hello again. This is a minor variance application for 160 Oakland Road, located in the former township of Oakland. The subject lands are located within a settlement area north of Oakland Road, south of Elliott Road, east of Highway 24, and west of King Street. The subject lands are mostly surrounded by residential, agricultural, and some employment and commercial uses. Subject lands have a frontage of approximately 51.32 meters along Oakland Road and an area of approximately 0.38 hectares. The subject lands contain a single detached dwelling and is privately serviced. Subject lands are designated Village Developed Area in the Official Plan 2023 and are currently zoned suburban residential within the County of Brant zoning bylaw 6116. The application is seeking relief from two sections of the zoning bylaw 6116. First, from section 4, table 4.4.1, to allow total lot coverage of 194 square meters for all accessory structures where a maximum of 140 square meters is permitted, and to permit an accessory structure height of 5.8 meters where the maximum allowed is 5 meters, and from the second section, 4.5B, to allow a reduced lot area of 0.38 hectares to permit an additional residential unit where a minimum of 40 hectares is required. The reduced lot size will support an additional residential dwelling on private servicing while providing adequate services and maintaining conformity with the intent of the official plan. The increased height is in keeping with the character of the area and not expected to result in any negative impacts. The application is required in order to facilitate the construction of an accessory structure that will have an attached additional residential unit. Some key considerations. Comments from the planning policy did note that the proposed accessory structure with the attached ARU appear to have a larger gross floor area than the principal dwelling, which would then require the ARU to be considered as the primary dwelling. However, the applicant has since confirmed that the primary dwelling does include a basement, making its total gross floor area larger than the accessory structure. And as a result, the ARU does not need to be classified as the principal dwelling. The structure that is pictured on this picture has been removed, it's no longer there. And any additional structures proposed in the future may be subject to further minor variance applications.
Thank you, Roxana, for the presentation. Do committee members have comments or questions to staff? None? Is the applicant or their agent present? Yes? Do you wish to add to the staff report? And your name is Peter Van Broek? Thank you for the record. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this application? No? I'll close the public portion of this then. Member Hamilton, do you have a final question?
Yes, I do. It's to the applicant. Wanting to know what the percentage of the new structure being built is garage and what percentage is ARU.
Could you please come to the podium and answer the committee member's question?
Hello, I'm Peter Van Brugge, the applicant. The shed portion would be 160 or 130 square meters, and the accessory dwelling portion would be approximately 63 square meters.
So 6 by 10 is
No,
the ARU roughly?
No,
then?
so the ARU is 63 square meters, so approximately 680 square feet.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying 6 meters by 10 meters.
Yeah,
is
sorry.
60, that's.
Yeah, roughly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a secondary question to that, will you be tying into the current septic system?
Yes.
Okay, I was just wondering how that works when you have the building behind the septic system and your tiles running from your house to that garage. Do you see any problem in connecting into the system?
I'm not sure at this moment. We are expecting that we probably will have to redo the septic system on this property. It's quite old, so we figured we could deal with that on the site plan. We'll have to do some kind of grading site plan for the building permit.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any final comments, questions? Then I will ask the committee, are you prepared to make a motion? And Member Smith, please go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve application A1025RF as the application meets the 4 tests of the Planning Act.
Thank Thank you. Is there a seconder? Member Schmidt? And I'll now call the vote, starting with Member Emmett.
Yes.
Member Schmidt.
Yes.
Member Damus.
Yes.
Member Hamilton.
Yes.
Member Penag.
Yes.
Member Smith.
Yes.
And Brown, yes. The motion to approve application A1025RF has carried, and that application has now been approved. I'll now introduce item 5.7 for application A3-25-LK for 30 Woodsley Avenue.
This is a minor variance application for 30 Woodsley located in the former town of Paris. Subject lands are located within settlement area, north of Scott Avenue, south of Woodsley Avenue, east of Lee Avenue, and west of Grand River Street North. The lands are mostly surrounded by industrial uses and have a frontage of approximately 111.43 meters along Scott Avenue, a depth of 256.53 meters, and an area of approximately 2.84 hectares. Subject property has an existing industrial building, is municipally serviced, and has 2 existing silos, which were approved under the building permit number 960082. The lands are designated general employment within the official plan 2023 and are currently zoned light industrial M2 within the zoning bylaw 6116. The application is requesting relief from 2 sections of the zoning bylaw 6116, section 512, table 5.12.1, to permit a reduction in the number of required parking spaces to 150, whereas 161 spaces are required, and from section 11, table 11.2, to permit an increased building height of 18 meters for a proposed silo, whereas a maximum height of 12 meters is permitted. The reduction in parking spaces is necessary in order to install the proposed silo on a concrete pad within the area where the parking spaces are to be reduced and removed to ensure that the drive aisle remains safe and functional for vehicle circulation, loading, and access to surrounding facilities. Some key considerations are the comments from Fire Department, which indicated that the proposed change in the fire route affects the required distances to the hydrant and Siamese connection. Additional information was recently submitted and reviewed. However, the Fire Department has confirmed that the route still does not meet the required standards and will need further revisions. As such, a condition has been added to address this matter. Source water protection comments noted that the property is partially located within a wellhead protection area. Although it was indicated that there are no threats presently associated with the minor variance application, the applicant will need to submit a Section 59 restricted land use screening form as they continue on through their application processes and approval processes. During the site visit, staff did note that parking areas are being used for storage, which does not comply with the zoning bylaw and the site plan agreement in place. And to address this concern, a condition has also been added requiring the removal of the stored materials. Any future proposals to further reduce or increase parking may require additional variance applications. Site visit was conducted on June 18th, 2025, and public notice of the application was issued in accordance with the Planning Act, and the public notice sign was posted on June 25th. No comments have been received during the review of this application and/or as of the date of this meeting. As a result of the minor variance reviews, staff is of the opinion that the application meets the 4 tests of the Planning Act, as it aligns with the general intent of the official plan and zoning bylaw and is minor in nature, and it represents appropriate development and use of the land. Staff recommend approval of minor variance application A3-25-LK, subject to conditions. Thank you. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Roxana, for the presentation. Do committee members have any comments, questions on this? No? Then is the applicant or their agent present?
Yes, I am, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Sorry, I did not catch your name.
Oh, it's Jeff Johnston.
Okay. Do committee members have any comments or questions to the agent? It appears there are none. I'll open the public portion of the application. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to this, online or present? And there are none. Are there any final comments or questions from the committee on this application? Since there are none, I will request a motion. Member Emmett, please go ahead.
Moved by myself, seeking a seconder that application A3-25-LP be approved, subject to the conditions stated.
Is there a seconder? Member Panag? I'll now take the vote, starting with Member Emmett.
Yes.
Member Schmidt?
Yes.
Member Vamos?
Yes.
Member Hamilton?
Yes.
Member Panag?
Yes.
Member Smith?
Yes.
And Brown, yes. The motion to approve application A3-25-LK has carried. That application has now been approved.
Thank you very much.
I will now introduce item 5.8 for application A9-25-RF for 233 Oakland Road.
All right, this is a minor variance application for 233 Oakland Road, located in the former township of Oakland. The subject lands are located within the settlement area north of Jenkins Road, south of Oakland Road, and east of Highway 24. The subject lands are mostly surrounded by residential, agricultural, and natural heritage uses. The subject lands have a frontage of approximately 21.22 meters along Oakland Road, and an approximate area of 0.14 hectares. The subject lands contain a single detached dwelling, a pool, a small shed, a sauna shed, and a detached garage with an addition and a covered patio. The property is privately serviced. The subject lands are designated Village Developed Area and Natural Heritage System in the Official Plan 2023 and are currently zoned Agricultural A within the County of Brant zoning bylaw 6116. The application is requesting relief from Section 4, Table 4.4.1 of the County of Brant zoning bylaw 6116 to permit an increased maximum lot coverage for all accessory structures of 228 square meters, that is 16%, whereas 72 square meters is permitted based on 5% of the existing lot area of 14 hectares. And this application is also requesting relief to recognize the reduced side yard setback for the existing garage addition, and covered patio of 1.4 meters. The increased lot coverage for all accessory structures will permit the existing non-compliant garage addition and covered patio to remain in place with no anticipated negative impacts, even with the reduced side yard setback. The application is required in order to bring the existing non-compliant accessory structure, into compliance, which resulted in the total accessory lot coverage to exceed the maximum permitted. Some key considerations, the addition to the garage and the covered patio of 145 square meters resulted in the total lot accessory coverage increase. The existing garage of 82.8 square meters is legal non-compliant. Comments received from environmental planning raised concerns regarding tree removal within the natural heritage area. A condition was added accordingly. However, following a recent site visit, environmental planning has confirmed they have no concerns with the proposed minor variance, and the condition has since been removed. Comments from the Grand River Conservation Authority indicated that they have no objection to the proposed minor variance for the non-compliant structure. Conditions have been added requiring the removal of 2 accessory structures, which are the purple squares in the picture, and to obtain the necessary permits for the secondary entrance, the pool, the non-compliant garage addition, and a covered patio. Any additional structures proposed in the future may be subject to further minor variance applications. Site visit was conducted on June 5th. Public notice for this application was issued in accordance with the Planning Act, and the public notice sign was posted on July 3rd. No public comments have been received during this review or this meeting. As a result of the minor variance review, staff is of the opinion that the application meets the 4 tests of the Planning Act as it aligns with the general intent of the County of Brant zoning and official plan, is minor in nature, and it represents appropriate development and use of the land. Staff recommend approval of the minor variance application A9-25-RF, subject to the condition. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you again for the presentation, Roxana. Are there any comments, questions from committee members? Member Hamilton?
Through the chair to staff, it said you didn't include the area for the pool. Why is that?
Through Madam Chair to committee member, we didn't include it for the purpose of calculating accessory structure area, and therefore the pool was not included and will be subject to the building permit.
Okay, I'm just wondering, it does cover the ground and it takes a percentage of a lot, why it wouldn't be included as a total package with the other things that were there. So is there something in a bylaw or something like that that states that pools aren't included?
Through the chair, if I may provide clarification, within the zoning bylaw, pools are not included in the calculation for lot coverage.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions to staff? Is the applicant or agent present? Do you wish to add to the staff report?
Sure. Again.
Can you come to the podium and can we have your name for the record?
Excuse me. Good evening. I'm James Scorgi, owner of the property. Just, I guess, long story short, local business owner, own a mechanical company here. I extended my garage in COVID for storage so it didn't make a mess of the neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. Who originally built it, I thought in trust, was ready to go, said they took care of it. It clearly was not. I listed my house last year, sold it. I've lost the sale of my house because of this now, so I'm just hoping that now that I've done everything in alignment that the county's asked, that, you know, I just seek approval of this so I can relist, resell, and kind of move on with this. That's essentially it. And if anybody has any questions, please just feel free.
Thank you. Are there any comments, questions to the applicant from Member Hamilton? Please go away. Please go ahead.
Through the chair to the applicant, there are a number of things on those conditions. You said you've got those all done now?
Correct, sir. The sheds are removed. Everything that the county has asked in every process has been crossed off the list. Engineer approvals, zoning, sheds have been removed, things have been relocated, everything's complied now.
All permits have been purchased and for both the driveway and the garage addition?
Everything has been paid for up to date. Once this is hopefully passed, I believe from my knowledge, I will have to pay for the new permit process just to clear up that, but I was not able to pay for that until after this process.
Okay, so the building permit for the addition hasn't been paid, but will?
It has to be paid. I have to apply for it after this, is my understanding now. So once this goes through, ideally, then I have to now take this back to the county, apply for the building permit, and then because all is this, then from my understanding, it has to be one more time inspected by building permit. And then once building permit clears it, then that would be the final, but I would have to pay for the building permit, I believe, still.
Okay.
I don't think I was allowed to apply for it until I came to this meeting. is my understanding. But other than that, yeah, every fee that, that has been requested has been paid, or anything that has been asked of has been done as fast as I could.
Do you have a question, member?
Yes, through the chair to the applicant, the sauna shed and the small shed, are they removed or they?
They were, I've taken them completely off the property. The original sauna shed that was in the back corner, that was placed probably 8 years ago. And it was placed based on the old neighbor. There used to be trees that the neighbor had that surrounded my property line. I don't think it shows on that picture, but it's the neighbor's trees. So originally we put the shed inset inside the trees, which we understood, we thought it was on the in my property. And then 8 years later, once this arose, it was decided that the corner of the shed was not on my property, it was touching the neighbor's property line. So instead of trying to include the shed and the other shed to meet variance with square footage and everything, I just made life easier and we just got rid of all sheds to simplify the process.
Thank you.
Member Hamilton, you have another question?
Yes, to the applicant, the addition that you put on your garage there, does it have water to it?
Yes, sir. I'm on a well system.
And do you have, is there a bathroom in that section? Or?
Yes, sir.
And where is the septic is it connected with your house or is it a separate?
No, sir. There's a separate holding system for the single bathroom in the garage.
So you have a holding system versus a septic system?
And it's been engineered and signed off on engineers and made all requirements through every process through all of these as well, yes.
Okay, thank you.
So the garage addition, the covered patio and the pool, they're just added recently over the last few years?
So the garage it was all added mostly in COVID. Long story short, again, local business, HVAC, by the grace of God, we were busy through COVID, right? So that's when this addition was added. As you can see on the picture, you can see all the mess of vehicles, and there's a sea can that used to be on the property and all that type of stuff. That was all coverage to, hide furnaces, et cetera. That is all been removed as my business now resides back in Burford.
So there was no permits for the addition, the patio, the pool, no pool permit?
So my understanding, the contractor that originally did the addition said he had everything taken care of. And, well, again, as 5 years later, he did not. I was very new to this when I was in business, 5 years ago, and I put my trust in the wrong person, apparently. So the building now it was built to code, everything was done properly. The original contractor that built it did not file the paperwork properly. So once
the 228 square meters to the 72 allowed, that's quite a big number. Sometimes we see here it's double, or, this is triple. It's quite it would never have been allowed if they went through the proper channels.
Again, I thought I did do that, years ago. Again, this structure's been standing for 5 years now. Again, I didn't know there was any problem of this structure until after the sale of my house, and a bylaw officer came to my house and said that, so then I had to clear out the garage, which I did, and started the process about 8 months ago, 10 months ago.
Thank you.
To the applicant, you said that you were running your business out of there at one time. You currently are not doing that now?
No, sir. So for record, I own Burford Heating. I was using that as storage through COVID. And then we have now, and that was the reason of selling my house. I purchased a building in Main Street, Burford there. And the sale of my house was to help renovate the the building in Burford.
So you moved your business to Burford, you're saying?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
The house right now is just, I live there by myself. The garage is just strictly, you know, family comes over. There's a pool table in the garage for.
Yeah, we seen the picture of the pool table. That's why I was curious on the bathroom. You can't go out and play a game of pool without having some kind of facility there.
Any other comments to the applicant? Then I'll open the public portion of this application. Is there anyone in the public online or in present wishing to speak to it? It appears there are none, so that portion is closed. So then I'll ask the committee, do you have any final comments or questions? If there are none, I'll request a motion from the committee.
Okay, thank you.
Motion or Member Hamilton? Member Hamilton, please go ahead.
I move and seeking a seconder for application A925RF to be declined because it is much greater. It's 3 times the amount, and therefore I think it's too excessive for this minor variance.
Is there a seconder?
I have had multiple counselors and the mayor.
Okay, well, we have to see if the motion passes or fails, okay? Is there a seconder for this motion? Member Vamus, you wish to second to deny? Then I'll put it to the vote, starting with Member Emmett.
Yes.
Member Schmidt?
Yes.
Member Vamus?
Yes.
Member Hamilton?
Yes.
Member Penag?
Yes.
Member Smith?
Yes.
And Brown, yes. The motion to approve application A925RF has failed, so it has been denied. I said that backwards. Did you provide a reason in your, yes, he did. He said it was too excessive to meet the definition of a minor variance. Thank you. Then I'll move to item 6 on our agenda. The next meeting is scheduled for September 18th, 2025, following the August recess. And again, will be a hybrid meeting starting at 6 p.m. And we'll move to item 7. May I please get a motion to adjourn this meeting? Member Emmett, is there a seconder? Member Penag? And all those in favor, could I have your motion first, please?
Pardon me, moved by myself, seconded by Member Penang, that the Committee of Adjustment meeting of July 17, 2025 be adjourned.
Thank you. All those in favor, raise your hand. Yes, I now declare the meeting